Welcome dear students to this session on business communication. I am Dr. Tripti Barthwal. I am Director, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies, Lucknow. And as you can see, the topic before us today is business etiquettes. Now this topic we are going to cover in two lectures, and etiquettes is something which is not only important for business or for your job, it is important for your life, it is important for everybody, it is important for the society, for the nation, the planet. So, it is a topic which is not only going to help you in your job, but it is also going to help you throughout your life. So, let us understand what the word first etiquette means. So, etiquette is a French word which means ticket, and what does a ticket mean here? You know, business you know, in France and all, where certain programs were organized, if certain play was being organized or certain function was being organized, a ticket was issued to people, the audience, wherein it was mentioned the do's and don'ts in a particular event. So, everything was mentioned there, and so people used to behave and people used to dress up accordingly. So, from there this word etiquette has come. So, business etiquette is a set of manners that govern the way people interact with one another in business, with customers, suppliers, with internal or external bodies. It is all about conveying the right image and behaving in an appropriate way. So, from this definition, it is very clear that business etiquette, generally we understand by etiquettes that, you know, how the way we behave with our seniors, with our elders, and with our customers, or who are people who are important to us or who are senior to us. But now you can see that business etiquettes or etiquettes word encompasses customers, suppliers, external or internal bodies, or any person with whom we are interacting. So, etiquettes are important everywhere, and they are very important in conveying the right image about the person or about the company, and they are important in making the person behave in an appropriate way. So, if you are aware of what etiquettes are, what etiquettes you need to follow, then your behavior you know, falls into the right category on its own. So, principle of etiquette. When we talk about etiquettes, then the underlying principle is, the golden rule is that treat others as you want them to treat you. So, if you want a good treatment from others, then treat them in that way, in a good way. So, you will receive a reciprocal goodness from their side. But bigger than this golden rule is the platinum rule or the platinum principle, which says that treat others as they would like to be treated. So, every person has dignity, every person is important, every person is an individual in his own right or her right, and the way they should be treated, the nice way in which you need to interact with them, that should be there. You should not, it should not be merely a mutual give and take, that if I speak with respect with this person, or if I am polite to this person, then he will also be polite to me. No, the platinum rule of etiquette is that you should treat the other person as he deserves to be treated, like a person with dignity. Then importance of business etiquette. Why are we talking about it? Firstly, it brings in mutual respect among people, because both of them are following etiquettes, both of them are following good codes of conduct and behavior. So, it increases mutual respect among people. Then improvement in communication. So, you know, when there are less misunderstandings, there is a lot of regard and respect for each other, people listen to each other and they are accepting of each other's views, then there is less miscommunication and there is more effective communication. Then third is better customer relationships. So, if you are polite, if you are humble, if you look interested before your customers, if you make the customer feel good, then in that case the customer is going to come back to you, make repeat purchases, and he will be brand loyal. So, that is the importance, and because of this good relations, lot of happiness, harmony among the people, good customers relations, what happens? The organization looks very professional, because there is a way of doing things, and there is a right way of doing things, and people practice that right way of doing things. Then higher organizational performance. So, when there are lesser conflicts, lesser misunderstandings, good rapport with the customer, what is going to happen? The revenues of the organization are going to increase, its profits are going to increase, the performance of the organization is going to improve. Now, there are a lot of things which can be covered in what comprises business etiquette, sorry. And but for convenience sake, we will divide these business etiquettes into 3 categories. First is related to the appearance of a person, because that is the first impression we get about a person, and if we get a good impression about the person, then we feel that the person is welcoming us, we feel good about the person, he feels good about us. So, that is there. Second is interpersonal, how relations between people occur, how they are guided, etc. And then the third is professionalism. So how is the working atmosphere, what is the level of discipline, integrity of people, the ethics they follow. So, that is all professional. Now, first part of business etiquettes we will take up is appearance. So, dress appropriately for work. It is very important. See, it is important that whatever your profession is, whatever are the requirements of your organization, and whatever is expected of you, you should dress accordingly. When we meet a lawyer, then we just imagine him, or we just expect him to be dressed in a particular way. When we go to meet a doctor, then we expect him to be, or her to be, dressed in a particular way. So, similarly, every company, every organization, every job will have a particular sense of dressing and particular sense of appearance. So, we have to stick to that. So, generally for men, it may vary from organizations to organizations, and these days organizations are emphasizing also allowing employees to come with there is a day off where formals are off, it is a casual day. So, these liberties are being given to employees, but still the formal dress code remains intact. And what is the formal dress code? There is shirt, coat, trousers, or you can wear a business suit. So, shirt generally formal colors are dark colors. So, black, dark blue, these are, if you are wearing a coat or a suit, then these are the colors which you need to wear. It is said that the darker the more formal. Then light colored shirt. So, if you are wearing a dark colored suit, then you have to team it with a light colored shirt. It can be a white shirt, off white shirt, a light blue shirt. So, these are generally considered as formal colors. Then tie, of course, tie can be, because you are wearing a light colored shirt, you can match your tie with the color of the suit or the coat, and it can be a dark colored tie, but it does not have to have lot of figures and graphics on pictures on it. It should be that way. It should have a very subtle appearance. Then cufflinks and tie pins are optional for males, but even if you are wearing them, then they should not be very gaudy. There should a lot of shine should not be there. They should again be very restrained and subtle. Then as far as females are concerned, in India generally there are a lot of options for women in terms of formal dressing. Women can wear saris, they can wear salwar kameez, then business suits, then trousers and shirts, skirts and tops. So, these are the things which they have in option. But when we are talking about appearance, then in that case whether it is a male or it is a female, certain things are very important which need to be emphasized. Whatever you are wearing, you should look neat. The clothes should also be neat and clean. Untidy, unkept clothes are a strict no. Then the clothes should be ironed also. Many people feel, oh, what is the problem, you know, once I wear it nobody is going to come to know. No, everybody comes to know if your clothes are wrinkled, crumpled, and then it does not give a good impression. You just imagine yourself looking at a person who is wearing whose clothes are not ironed, you feel, oh, what kind of a person is this, very casual, laid back. Then whatever clothing you wear, you should feel comfortable in that clothing. If the clothing is very tight, it is not of your size, it is loose, and you are feeling that, you know, I am awkward in this clothing, then it will not show, it will show that lack of confidence or that problem will show in your body language, and that will not be the right kind of a thing which you want to project to other people's. Then it should be not only of a comfortable material, as I said, it should be also of the right kind of fit. And when, especially when you are looking for a coat, more than anything you should emphasize on the fit on your shoulder. The first thing you should look is that the coat should not on your shoulders, the sides of the coats, the sleeves of the coat should not hang. They should properly fit your shoulders. Other things can be adjusted, they can be altered, but the shoulder part cannot be altered generally. So, if you are buying a ready made thing, then you have to take that into consideration. Then quality material, very cheap material. Also, I am not talking about that you should wear expensive material, but material should be of a quality at least which does not give a very cheap appearance to the other person. And what will happen if you save money here, ultimately that material is going to fade off very fast, so you will be at loss. So, whenever you are spending money on clothing, just try to see that it is of at least a good quality, not the best quality, but of the good quality. Then hair neatly combed, whatever styles you want to have, like film stars or something, or any new hairstyle you want to try, but please, for formal occasions, do not experiment. Hair should be neatly combed, shoes should be polished, right. Dusty shoes, dirty shoes, these also give a very bad impression about the person. Neat and trimmed nails. So, when you are speaking, your hands can be seen, your nails can be seen by people. So, at least the nails of your hand should be very clean, and they should be properly kept, they should be in the right shape, trimmed. Then something which does not cost you anything, but which enhances your overall appearance, is a smile. So, a positivity, a very welcoming, relaxed approach you can convey to the people through your beautiful smile. So, I mean, not unnecessarily, but a little pleasure on your face should be evident to the people. And the last thing is that if you are confused that what should I wear, what is right or wrong for me, then just look for people around. If you have joined a new organization or you are at a new place, then look towards people around and look at them, that what they are wearing. So, that will give you an idea of what is right or what is wrong as a type of clothing here. Now, certain things which you need to avoid as far as your appearance is concerned or your dressing sense is concerned, first is colored or white belt. Just wear dark brown or black belt, that is formal, or other colors, and white is not meant for formal dressing. White socks also. With dark colored suits, you should wear dark colored socks. Too much jewelry, because too much jewelry is distracting also. The jewelry, you can wear jewelry, but it should be a minimal jewelry, right. That is not meant for a formal setting. For casual, you may wear whatever amount of jewelry you want, and I am talking about both males and females. So, females also wearing too heavy jewelry does not give a very formal look. Then too creative. Many people feel that why should I stick to a particular dress code of a dress code? Why can't I experiment? And people then end up wearing weird combinations, weird shades, weird designs. So please remember that formal situations are not the places or are not the opportunities to experiment and to bring out the designer in yourself. You will get many other opportunities after office, when you visit your acquaintances, or when you visit a restaurant, or when you go for a party, a get together, then you get a lot of chances to be creative. So, do not please apply your creativity in the workplace. Then visible tattoos also should be avoided. Tattoos are very common these days, but still the mindset of people is that it gives you a very rebellious kind of a look. So, big tattoos at all visible places, tattooing for your own interest is not bad, it is not wrong, but get those tattoos at places where it can be covered by your sleeve or something of that, or by a collar or something. So, visible tattoo should be avoided. Then if you are entering into a room and you have put such a strong perfume, if you are putting perfume, it is not wrong, because it is a part of feeling good and feeling comfortable. But if you have put too much of cologne or perfume, that from 1 kilometer itself people can come to know that you are coming, and when you enter into the room, the people cannot breathe properly, then it is to be avoided. Then other don'ts are bad breath. So, if you have whatever you have in the breakfast, or whatever you had in the lunch, it is not important that people should come to know, right. So, avoid that. You should take some mint or some chewing gum or something which can improve the odor of your breath. It can give you a fresh breath. Then similarly, if it is hot, it is humid, you are coming from a field visit, so you may be sweating, so there may be body odor. So, you have to it is important that you take bath every day, you change your clothes every day, and beyond that, when you are coming from the field to the office, then you should put a mild cologne or a deodorant or something of that sort. Then also another thing, you have bought new shoes, very smart shoes, but they are making a lot of noise. So, noisy and squeaky shoes also should be avoided in the office. Very colorful clothes, it is good to be vibrant, good to be colorful, but very colorful clothes, you look like a rainbow, you look like a garden, that is not for the office. There are other opportunities to look like that. Then you should not in a formal environment, you should not while sitting in a meeting or talking to your boss, or even talking to your team members, you should not be chewing gum, candy, or many of those things which people have bad habits about. So, masala and gutka and all these things, or a pan. So, this is not should not be done in the formal setup. So, it gives a very casual and a very not non-serious kind of a look. Then too much of makeup. It is good to look prepared, it is good to look nice, but if it feels that you have applied kilograms of makeup, then people will not take you seriously, right. So, that should also be avoided. So, bulging side pockets, especially men have this habit of putting everything, stuffing everything in your trouser pockets, or in your coat pockets, or in your jacket pockets. So these things should be avoided, because it again gives a very non-professional kind of a look. And similarly, both men and women should avoid wearing boots, sneakers, unless it is a casual day, or jeans, or khakis to the office. Then as we talk about the first part, that was the presence or the appearance of the individual, now we move on to the interpersonal part of business ethics. When we are dealing with other people, then what we should take care of. So when we are dealing with other people, there are certain general ethics, general etiquettes which we need to follow. So greet co-workers. So this is very important, and this also reflects the kind of family we have, the kind of upbringing we have, the kind of school we went to. So it reflects very positively or negatively about us if we are greeting our co-workers or not. So there is no harm in going to the office, and once you reach the office, you yourself take this initiative of greeting the co-workers. I mean, you should not be in this ego that once the other person will wish you, then I will reply, or I will wish him back. That is not the right kind of an approach. It does not take anything away from you, it does not cost anything to you if you are greeting your co-workers. It reflects very positively about you, that in case if some wrong message is also being spread about you, that this person is not very cooperative, not very pleasant to talk to, then many people will say, no, you can't say that, because he is the person who in the every day, whether I wish him or not, he is this person who comes and wishes me. So like 5-10 minutes, initial 5-10 minutes of the office can be used in meeting people, in greeting people, and having a positive energy. Then one should be very comfortable, no egos, no hang-ups about saying thank you, sorry and please. These are the three things which when required, you should not feel shy in saying. When somebody has done something good for you, like you expect a thank you, you say, at least one should have said a thank you to me, So similarly, the other person also, he expects a thank you from you. So this is the least thing which you can do. When you are wanting a favor from a person, then instead of giving an order even to your subordinate, you can say a please. It feels good to your subordinate also. And then if you have done a error, if you have done a mistake, then there should be no problem in saying or in accepting the mistake, in apologizing and saying sorry, even if you have to say sorry to people who are junior to you. Right? It creates a very good bonding when between people, especially a senior and a junior. When a senior, when asking for a favor, says please, when he receives a favor, says thank you, and when he makes a mistake which concerns the junior, then he says sorry. Then very important in interpersonal is that you should have an eye contact with the other person. You must have studied about body language and kinesics, which is the art of body language, and you must be knowing that in communication it is only 7% of the words. Rest is our body language, our postures, gestures, our eye movements, our hand movements. So, these are very, very important to the other party. So, we should maintain a very, very comfortable eye contact. It should not be in the form of a stare, that you are, you are opposing someone or you are entering into an argument with someone, but it should be a very, very friendly kind of an eye contact. If you avoid eye contact, it seems that you are trying to either avoid the person or you are trying to tell some lies, that is why you are not ready to face the person. So, this should also be taken care of. Then listen. So, listening is a very good way of showing mutual respect. So, how is listening different from hearing? You must be knowing that hearing is a physical process. Because I have 2 ears, whatever sounds are created around me, they are going to come to my ear, that is hearing. But if from there those auditory signals, those sound signals are moving to my brain and my brain is trying to decode them, it is trying to give a meaning to them, and I am focusing on what is being said, and if I am trying to derive a meaning out of it, then it becomes listening. And it is said that listening is very important for a person, because all the learning which happens within us happens through listening. So, if you are not attentive to the teacher in the class, if you are not attentive in a seminar, or if you are not attentive when some instructions are being given to you, then that means you are not listening, and as a result of that you will commit mistakes. So, listening is that important, and that is why it is said that the God has given us 2 ears, because even He wants that we should listen more and speak less. So, and it is also said that when you listen attentively to the other person, then it is, as I said, a way of showing respect, right. And why we are emphasizing so much on listening? Because in our education system, there is a lot of talk about speaking, lot of emphasis on student speaking, getting confidence through public speaking, lot of emphasis on reading, that the child should know how to read properly, on speaking, he should be able to speak clearly and fluently. These are the very 3 important parts of communication. But what about listening? Listening is the most important part of communication, because as I said that if listening fails, all 3 aspects you will fail in, because you will not know how to read, you will not know how to write, you will not know how to speak also. So, that is why listening is being emphasized here, and that is why you should listen to other people. It gives them a sense of respect. And then avoid, what should you avoid? Controversial topics. Why do you have to talk about things which other people are not comfortable with? Why do you have to talk about political party affiliations, or anything which is religious in nature, which can create a heated discussion? We can have other topics to talk about, we can have sports to talk about, we can have the the weather to talk about, you can have other things to talk about, your hobbies and interest, but not on controversial topics, because such people are not unwanted in any group discussions, because they only rake controversies. So, you do not want to be that kind of a person. So, these are the first part of interpersonal etiquettes which have been discussed. Other parts of interpersonal etiquettes will be discussed in the next lecture. So, thank you so much.